Welcome back, everyone, to Masterpiece 3. And we're going to be, in order to understand a masterpiece the best we can, we're also going to be analyzing a real masterpiece, a painting that Van Gogh did in 1885 called The Potato Eaters. This is The Potato Eaters. Look at it carefully. It's an exquisite masterpiece. His first masterpiece, which he named The Potato Eaters because they're eating potatoes. They're obviously agricultural people working on the land, and they're eating the very harvest that they reap for their master. The painting can be very deceiving. It was done with good intent and art for the people, accessible to everyone, as they say. A painting is a Sunday sermon on that account, reflecting the complicated and overlapping feelings Van Gogh felt about the working poor, whose lives revolved around an endless routine of harsh, arduous work. Few were their pleasures, and still less was the quality of their personal lives. They were so poor that everything was a luxury to them. But at first, a simple picture with simplistic characters bears witness to a tragedy that is these people's lives and the poverty that decimates them. There's no match, no other resemblance, though other works of art may equal it in greatness, to The Potato Eaters, because of the scrutinizing honesty and intense religious experience it evokes in the viewer. It is the way Van Gogh deliberates these people in his mind, the way he sees and feels about them and about their plight, that charges them with an unearthly power. To him, they are the most important people in the world. Van Gogh is determined to make of the time they are eating their time in the moment of history. He is resolved to give these peasants their 15 minutes of fame, as Andy Warhol once punned. It is with this penetrating zeal that Van Gogh goes for the jugular. His psychological abilities see into the heart of man and into his very soul. He is sensitive enough to feel the indignity and the accompanying shame surrounding their situation. He is altruistic enough to sympathize and immortalize them. Van Gogh is on their side. Overall, 9 lithographs were made, along with 2 oil versions of the same theme. This makes for an extensive study into the everyday mechanics of living. There is no attempt to express or invent a novel style or movement of art. All these details are enough to make The Potato Eaters a very original piece of art. Therefore, it offers us a daring insight into human nature. It challenges us to insert our feelings in with theirs and step into their shoes. There is a tired interplay of hands and fingers handling the potatoes. Eyes are glancing questionably. There's a mysterious initiation going on. Long, dark shadows permeate the dingy room. We are crushed by them. Steep inclines of the mind play with your head in this tomb of mummies. The lamp above their heads is ready to sputter out. Darkness will fall. There is the sense of futility. There is no escaping the potato eaters. It resonates with sorrow and disappointment. It's asphyxiating. But wait. There's the fifth figure in the foreground, looming in front of us like a ghost. Who is she? What does she mean to Van Gogh? This mystery wraps round the painting. The female foreground figure is new knowledge. She stands apart, not just physically, but psychologically, placed precisely in the center foreground of the picture to denote her importance. It is of interest to note that while she sees them all, they do not even notice her presence, as if to them there is no one there. She is invisible. This relegates her to a phantom figure. Could she be a symbol, while important enough for the artist to include in the painting, remains unexplained and incomprehensible? We become enraptured with her presence. But such a device is a stroke of genius. It reminds me of Rembrandt's Night Watch, wherein Rembrandt inserted a phantom figure of a young girl among the crowd, completely unnoticed by any of them. The Potato Eaters is an existential experience. In it, a bell tolls. The surface of the painting palpitates like a heart. The Potato Eaters is frugal and spare to emphasize the kinds of lives these peasants lived. This is poverty, Van Gogh seems to be saying. This is suffering. And yet these potato eaters are as angels in the house of God. In their dignity, time stands still. The reality of the painting exists on a different plane, and we experience it as a religious ritual. Maybe even a multi-leveled morality play. Or just people eating. On whatever level you experience it, the Potato Eaters hides interior nuances of the human struggle to survive. If Van Gogh had given us nothing else, he managed to penetrate to the core of our existence at the most basic level, isolating and emphasizing the psychological loneliness permeating the entire painting. The Potato Eaters is a difficult painting to like. If it had a voice, it would sound like a dirge. Yet this jewel of a painting looms before us, dimly lit in the dark. It reveals what would look like human rats scurrying in their burrow for a meal. At first we are repulsed by them, but then get caught up in the earnestness of the situation. We succumb to the self when we look upon the Potato Eaters, for it is the self Van Gogh is painting. It is the self he penetrates, the self he evokes, and the self he imagines the mysterious dark figure to be. We will continue this very fascinating analysis of the Potato Eaters in the next Masterpiece session. See you then. Take care.